Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna check out the new BeamNG career mode. On the recent patch there were a lot of changes, and as you can see we have a new career button grayed out and it says it's coming soon. If you're anything like me, you probably did not bother to look into it any further, but it turns out you can actually get into the career mode by simply clicking 1 million times on it. So let's get into it. So here we are, just 1 million clicks later. The game does tell us that it is an experimental mode. Just a small disclaimer, this game is still in early access. It came out in 2013 and I must say this is one of the few games that I bought being in early access and did not regret it. The devs are doing an amazing job updating it with new cars, improved physics, improved map graphics, and now this experimental career mode. So please do keep in mind that if you decide to play this yourself, you might lose your profile saves and this mode might have some unexpected bugs. But with that being said, let's buckle up and get ready. So we're just gonna create a new profile here and keep the tutorial enabled for a full experience. And right from the start we have a presentation of essential gameplay mechanics and controls. I don't know about you, but if you played this game before, you probably have a very good understanding of what this game is, what it can do, and how it behaves. I personally played this game for a little over 100 hours already, and I drove pretty much every car in the game, every sort of different variety of it, so I know what to expect and how it behaves, but we're just gonna go ahead and pretend we don't. So for this game I usually play it with the Logitech G25 steering wheel and the shifter, and during my normal off-camera plays I have my steering wheel disabled, but I will re-enable it just so that you can see what I'm doing as well. It appears that there's some kind of bug that won't show my steering wheel for whatever reason, even though I have selected it in the settings as you saw it earlier. I believe after a refresh it will display correctly, so let's just go ahead with the tutorial in the meantime. Okay, so let's start the car. And immediately the game asks us to go through the different camera modes and to rev the engine and press the brakes and steer. It also tells us that we can customize our inputs, but I've already done that, and quite frankly this is a pretty hassle-free setup. You just have to select your steering wheel from a drop-down menu and then the game automatically makes the changes for you. So let's just drive around the parking lot. And apparently we have to crash the car. And if you don't know anything about this game, or what it's famous for, is exactly this, realistic car crashes. So we have insurance and assistance for crashes, and compared to normal free mode, this will cost us money to repair the car, so the incentive to not crash is there. But for now we can repair it for free, it seems, by pressing R and then clicking repair. Alright, so it seems that we can get into the actual career now by using the map. And I must say this is really beautiful. The map is also quite large and it appears that our first mission is to get to the gas station. I don't know why exactly this happens, but whenever I use a steering wheel, it's very difficult for me to drive from a third-person view. Something relating to the sensitivity of the controls, I guess, makes me not be as much in tune with the car from a third-person view, and you will see the difference is quite obvious. This does not happen if I use a controller. And I don't know how many of you are sim racing enthusiasts or own a steering wheel, but let me know in the comment section if this happens to you as well. And in just a few seconds we are here. So the gas stations are now a thing in BeamNG, so we have to keep an eye on our fuel, and this also works for electric vehicles, which is very nice. The UI appears to be very simple and pleasant, so you click once to start fueling and then again to stop. And we have to pay apparently 9.5 Bitcoin. And we're good to go. Our next task is finding a challenge on the map. And it seems it was already pre-selected for us, which is nice. And I'm not sure about you guys, but when I'm playing this game, I try most of the times to follow traffic rules and, you know, behave like a normal driver. But sometimes, man, you just see the AI driving in the middle of the road, or they're doing something stupid, and it makes me want to just floor it and go past them. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna try my best not to crash or damage the car, but I cannot make any promises to follow traffic rules. And another thing is that I will try my best to drive as well from a third-person view, just stepping out of my comfort zone, you know, and perhaps I can train this skill in this way. So the first challenge is simply arriving in time to our destination, it seems. So this is pretty simple to do, however I cannot see any sort of time limit, so I guess it's just a case of driving without crashing perhaps? Nope, scratch that. I spoke too soon. We have a time limit of 10 minutes, which I think for this distance is plenty. The car handles pretty well. Drifting is not its strongest point, being a front-wheel drive, but I simply cannot help myself trying. And as I mentioned earlier, I did play this game for quite some time, and this particular car is one of my favorites. Maybe not this version of it, but one of them. It handles pretty well, it's relatively fast, it has this 2000s feel, you know, like no fancy dashboards or automatic gearboxes, just pure driving experience. And this is true especially when considering that this version doesn't even have ABS or power steering. So as per my promise, I'll try and get out of my comfort zone and use the third-person camera. And I can tell you guys, it already feels so unnatural and scary. Like right here, it just feels odd to move the steering wheel and have this level of, you know, like micro steering I get from first person. But you know, with time I'm sure it's one of those things that as long as you practice them, you become better at them, so you get more used to it. But you know, it's just that I haven't done it for so long, and doing it now, it just feels strange. But you know, and just stopped in time. Sorry, I got distracted talking about my level of comfort here and didn't see the red light in time. And I know I said I'm not gonna respect the traffic rules all the time, but here I was afraid more that the AI might make a move and crash into me than anything else. So you know, better play it safe, especially in intersections. But overall I would say the AI is okay, you know, like their driving has definitely improved over the, you know, course of several updates. But there are still some scenarios where they just behave strangely, you know, like driving in between lanes, or that sense of feeling when you drive by them and you don't know if they're gonna make a left or right because they're right in the middle of the lane, you know. But anyway, now that I'm trying to improve my third-person driving skill, I'm kind of one of the AI drivers, you know, like, I mean, look at me, the level of hypocrisy. I talk about them driving in the middle of the lane, but I'm doing just that. But, you know, jokes aside, I do enjoy this career mode so far. It has this level of purpose that gives the player. Like, right now, I want to see what's next. I want to get to the following point of interest. That sort of feeling. And if there's one thing I think they should change from this limited playthrough I have so far, is these navigation arrows that you have on the road. I think in my opinion it would be better if they were following a specific road lane and not be in the center of it. It's kind of distracting, to be honest. But anyway, we've arrived at our destination and made 1500 Bitcoin. So I count that as a win. Let's see what this place is all about, right? So we have 4 different driving styles, which is very interesting. It kind of reminds me of that other game, Motor Town, in a way. Oh, and this was a dealership. I didn't even realize that. Does that mean we get to buy cars now? Oh my god, this is so cool. You get to have your own garage with your custom vehicles. I must say, guys, I'm really impressed with this so far. I mean, look at this. Cars have mileage now? What? Will that mean that it will impact the way they drive and brake? Maybe repairs will be more costly for an older car with more miles? Oh my god, the possibilities here. Maybe I'm thinking way ahead of this, but So now that we're inspecting it, we can see the info right here. So there's some dealership fees, and we can even choose to trade in our current vehicle for this. Wasn't even aware that vehicle was ours. And anyway, done deal. I like this car as well, it drives like a charm. Back to third person. Checking our right, checking our left. Let's go. And that's what I get for not looking straight ahead. Not even 10 meters and I crashed. Luckily the garage is here, so hopefully we can repair it. Alright, so I think I'm gonna end the episode here, and yes, I say episode because I am considering making this a series. It's just because I see there's a lot of potential, and honestly I just want to explore all the things that the devs have added. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.